everyone, it's Froggy and happy Valentine's Day. Today I'm going to be doing a review for a game. My Next Life is a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, Pirates of the Disturbance. This game is based on the manga My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, of course. I've decided to do a review for this game because I've been playing it lately, and right at the beginning it says that you're not allowed to stream the game, so I want to respect the company's wishes on that one and not stream it. So I've decided to do a review instead because it's a very interesting game. So the game itself is supposed to be a standalone game, but honestly, when I started playing it, there was a lot of dialogue that I just didn't understand. And I know that this is, again, based off of a manga. There's also an anime adaptation. So I started reading the manga, and a lot of what I was missing, the context that I was missing, was explained there. It is explained later on in the game, but it's just a bit unsatisfactory in the way that it's explained. So reading the manga really fleshed it out, and now I get more of an idea of what is going on. And it tells me a lot about, like, the main character. So the main character is Katarina Claes. It tells me a lot about her relationship with the love interests and the other characters that are in the game as well. It gives me more of an idea of why they all seem to be so obsessed with her. And I mean, I think they're just taking it a touch too far, but I get it. So it's nice getting that extra explanation. It really just helped me to understand it, and it made me feel more endeared towards the characters rather than just like, oh, why is everybody so weirdly obsessed with me? To explain it a bit for those of you who have never actually read the manga or played the game, but you're interested. So the whole story is that the main character is Katarina, and when she's 8 years old, she has an accident, smashes her head, and remembers her entire past life, where she lived in our world for 17 years and died at age 17, and then was reborn as this character. And she also remembers that she has been isekai'd. So she is living in the world of an otome game that she played when she was alive called Fortune Lover, and she is the villainess. And the main protagonist is a character named Maria Campbell, who is a commoner because we're a duke's daughter. All of this is taking place amongst nobles, but she is the only commoner. She is born with light magic, where we come from a land that has magic. We're the only kingdom that seems to have magic in the kingdom of sorcière, which is funny because that's the French word for sorcerer. She's got light magic, which is the most rare form of magic, and her magic is quite strong, whereas our magic, we have earth magic, and all we know how to do is earth bump, which is literally just raising a pile of dirt to make a bump. And, so she remembers that she is now the villainess. And she remembers that she's got all these doom endings. So if the protagonist succeeds and makes these other love interests fall in love with her, then she is likely going to either get exiled or die. So up until this point, she slowly meets all of the love interests and the other rivals characters, before being sent to magic school at age 15 and meeting the heroine. So she has to basically just try and avoid all of those, like, prepare herself in case she gets exiled or in case she's going to be threatened of death. And during that time, she befriends all of the love interests and the other rivals. And when she starts school, she befriends the protagonist of the game, which the game is called Fortune Lover. I don't know if I mentioned that, but anyways. And then this game takes place after the first semester, the first year of magic school is over. One of the love characters graduates. It's after that graduation ceremony where the original game ends, and she is now, during her summer vacation, she is on a ship and with all of the characters, like the love interests and everything. And she has a dream where she finds out that this is actually a rejected doom ending for Katarina. And they put it into like a fan disc apparently later on. And she's seeing these dreams, and that's how she knows that. So she knows about all of the characters now, more or less, except for one. So, anyway, so let's talk a bit about the love interests. So there's Prince Giordo, who is our fiance. There's Prince Alan, his younger twin brother. There is Nicole, who is the, like, Prime Minister's son. And then there's Keith, who is our adopted brother. And then there's two other love interests in the game. One that she knows through the fan disc, who is the pirate captain Silva. He is the captain of the Weiss Pirates. And then there's another character that we can romance that she doesn't know anything about him being a romanceable character, and his name is Rozzy. And at the moment, what we know of him is that he is a ship technician from a neighboring kingdom, which is the Kingdom of Quid, who doesn't really have magic. And so things are a bit different from the fan disc, of course, but she's trying to prepare for just in case. And then we've got our best friend. So there's Maria Campbell, who I've mentioned. She's the protagonist of Fortune Lover, and she's a commoner who has light magic. And then there's two others. There's Maria Campbell, who's the protagonist. There's Mary Hunt. So Mary and Maria, which is a little bit confusing. I don't know why they decided to pick names that were that close, but whatever. Mary is the fiance of Prince Alan. So our fiance's younger brother. So she would be our sister-in-law if we marry who we're supposed to marry. And then there's Sophia, who is the younger sister of Nicole, and he has like a sister complex and loves his sister. So from Fortune Lover, what we gather is that Mary is the rival in Alan's route, and Sophia is the rival in Nicole's route. But we're all best friends. And something I'm really upset about is the fact that they never actually made a route for any of the girls. Mary would be the one especially, because she's very obviously in love with us. But we can't date her at all, which is really annoying. Sophia, from what I've gathered from the manga, and then eventually, like, at the end of the game, of like certain routes, we learn that Sophia isn't actually in love with us, even though she acts like she is, but she just really wants us to get with her brother so that way she can stay with us forever. And then Maria, I'm not entirely sure if she's actually in love with us. You can assume that she is because of the things that she says and the way that she acts, but she doesn't outright say it. And she's always one of the first ones to be like, I just want you to be happy. I want to spend all of my time with you. But if you found someone that you want to be happy with, go for it. So I don't know about that. But Mary, there should have been at least a route for Mary. I'm a little bummed about that, but whatever. Anyways, so in this review, I'm going to be talking about the common route primarily, and I got one of the endings. I got the friendship ending, because I basically just went through all of the dialogue options and chose whatever seemed the most interesting. I got an array of answers for the different guys, and ended up with this friendship ending. But without giving too much away, because I don't want to give too many spoilers, but essentially what happens is the pirates take the Weiss Pirates, so Silva's pirates, take over the ship. They treat us really nicely. Like, they give us food in our rooms. They don't tie us up or anything like that. They treat us really nice. They take people to the infirmary when they're sick. They're really nice. We're wondering why they're so nice. Keith gets motion sickness, so he spends most of the time in the infirmary. And then we're just kind of there with the main characters, and we find out in the common route that there is another villain, who I'm not going to tell you who it is, and he kidnaps Maria because she is a light magic user with the intention of selling her, I guess. And we're just like, no, we can't let that happen. So we wait until we get to shore, and we see another, like, boat, like a little, like, dinky sailboat that's there, and we're like, oh, well, that must be where they are. So we escape the pirate ship, we go through the forest on this island, we find her, we save her, and, like, throughout, like, the friendship ending, we get more dialogue options with the girls, to, like, get closer with Mary and Sophia, or we can think about Maria, who's not with us, and worry about her. So it's nice. This is, like, as close to a girl's ending as we're gonna get, and it kind of reminds me of Amnesia Later, when we got, like, that girl love ending where we're just best friends with the girls and that's it. It's basically kind of like that. So we eventually go, we save Maria, and we thwart the pirates, we thwart the villains, and knock them out, and the pirates run away because the guards from the other country quid is there, and yeah, and then apparently the other villains don't get in trouble, the pirates are never caught, but everything is blamed on a pirate attack, and we go home safe and sound, and we are just happy best friends with our girlfriends. That's pretty much the friendship ending. So I just got, like, a good ending right off the bat, but it's but overall, I mean, the common route is kind of short and it goes through pretty quick, and the friendship ending is also pretty quick. They try to jam pack a ton of story into how, like, short it is, but it's pretty short, pretty quick to get through it. It took me a few hours to get through everything. So I mean, it makes sense, because in and of itself, this is kind of like a fan disc game for the manga. And usually when they do these video game adaptations of manga and animes, they're not as good as if they were just like a standalone game. They're not going to be as long, and there's not going to be a whole lot going into it. This is basically just a side story that actually gives Katarina a chance to fall in love with people. But so far, going into it knowing that, I still really like it. I think it's really interesting. The art isn't as good as it is in the manga, or from what I've seen of the anime. But the dialogue is pretty good. I like the way that the characters are written. I can really get a feel for, like, their personalities through the way that the dialogue is written. I can really see how much they love and adore Katarina, and also they keep insulting us to our face as a way of standing up for us by either calling us a total glutton or calling us stupid. And that bothers me so much, because yes, we are definitely the embodiment of the sin of gluttony, and we are definitely ditzy, and it's pretty interesting. We're pretty one-track mind, but, like, so it's funny in that I'm just like, oh, poor Katarina. And she's just like, I think they're trying to compliment me. It makes me laugh. It's really funny, honestly. The whole thing is just a really funny game, and I really think that if you haven't tried it yet, that you should. It's still, like, full price on the Switch, so it's like $60-something for me. So it's probably gonna be like $40 to $50 for Americans. But I was able to rent this at my local library, so that's how I'm playing it. But I do recommend it, and at the very least, go and check out the manga or the anime, because it's actually really good. It's really well written, and there's a reason why it's as popular as it is. I was not interested in it at first until I saw the game, and I was like, okay, I'll play it in the game format, because, you know, the otome games are more my jam than anything else. And then once I started playing it, it made me want to go and read the manga, and I am also debating on watching the anime. So I've become a little bit obsessed, but I'm really excited to play through the different characters. I like the different, because they're all different types of characters, so I can tell who's going to be a yandere, I can tell who's the tsundere, and so on and so forth. So I'm pretty excited. My only gripe with it thus far is the fact that it is a touch lacking. It's a touch quick, and I wish that there was a female route. But the love interests that we do have are really interesting, and I think I'm going to... Well, right now I think my favorite is going to be Rozzy, so he's probably the one that I'm going to play last. I think I'm going to play Keith next, because in the game he's not as interesting to me. Although he's the one that I want Katarina with the most from reading the manga. So, but that's my headcanon pairing, but for me personally, if I'm going to be romancing people, I like Rozzy the best, but that's based off of his looks. So, but yeah, I definitely recommend giving it a try, and I hope you guys are looking forward to my review of Keith's route next. Thank you for watching!